Mavericks just pulled off one of the wildest twists in NBA history. Think about it. You trade away Luka Doncic, one of the greatest young superstars the league has ever seen, for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a single draft pick, and somehow that mistake lands you the #1 overall selection. That's not genius. That's luck dressed up as vision. But then Nico Harrison goes out there saying, fans are finally starting to see the vision. Really? What vision? Because to most Mavs fans, this doesn't look like a plan. It looks like the basketball gods bailed out a front office that made the dumbest trade in sports history. Now, if Dallas had used one of those Lakers picks to grab Cooper Flagg, maybe people would buy the story. But the truth is, they stumbled into a generational prospect almost by accident. And here's the part no one wants to admit. The unlucky one in all of this might actually be Cooper Flagg himself. Because no matter what he does, every step of his career will be shadowed by the question, what if Luka was still here? That's not fair to an 18-year-old, but it's reality. Luka's gearing up for what people are already calling his revenge season. And meanwhile, Flagg walks into one of the most pressure-packed rookie situations we've seen in decades. The Mavericks don't have time to rebuild. They don't have time to let him figure it out. They need to win now. And that's where things get dangerous. Cooper's rookie year could either launch him into superstardom or crush him under the weight of impossible expectations. And it all comes down to two factors: Dallas's health and Dallas's veterans. On one hand, the injuries might actually be a blessing in disguise. With Anthony Davis expected to miss time, Kyrie Irving in and out of the lineup, and Klay Thompson far from his prime, Flagg won't have to defer as much. He'll get to touch the ball, make mistakes, putt, and learn what it means to be the guy. But here's the flip side. Those same injuries could leave him stranded. No safety net, no veteran leadership on the floor, just an 18-year-old kid asked to carry a franchise that still wants championships. And this isn't a normal rookie situation. Look at the history. Victor Wembanyama went to a rebuilding Spurs team. Paolo Banchero had the Magic. Jaden Ivey had Detroit. Even Cade Cunningham had time to grow in a patient environment. The last time a #1 pick walked straight into a contending roster was Tim Duncan back in 1997, and that was San Antonio, a small market with a fraction of the spotlight. Cooper Flagg isn't getting that luxury. He's joining a team with 3 future Hall of Famers, AD, Kyrie, and Klay, all in their 30s, all with rings, all expecting to compete right now. So yeah, maybe the Mavericks got lucky, but luck comes with a price. For Dallas, that price is whether Cooper Flagg can survive being compared to Luka every single night. And for Cooper himself, the question is simple. Is he ready to be the savior of a franchise on day one? Because make no mistake, the NBA world will be watching. Now picture this. Most top picks in NBA history land on rebuilding teams. They get room to breathe, to grow, to make mistakes. Wemby in San Antonio, Paolo in Orlando, Cade in Detroit. These guys weren't expected to be perfect from day one. But Cooper Flagg, his every dribble is under a microscope. He's not being told to develop, he's being told to deliver. And in today's NBA, where social media criticism hits 10 times harder, the pressure isn't just intense, it's suffocating. And if that wasn't enough, Jason Kidd just added fuel to the fire. The Mavs head coach says he wants to try the same experiment he once ran with a young Giannis Antetokounmpo. Back in Milwaukee, Kidd looked at Giannis's flashes of a handle and said, "What if I make this freak run the point?" So at just 21 years old, Giannis split time between point guard and shooting guard. It was bold, but it lasted only one season before the Bucks scrapped it. Now Kidd wants to roll the dice again, this time with Cooper Flagg. I want to put him at point guard. I want to make him uncomfortable and see how he reacts. Run the show, handle the ball, shift from guard to forward. We want to push him. Push him? He's already 18 years old walking into Luka's shadow, the #1 pick pressure, and a win-now team with 3 Hall of Famers watching his every move. Isn't that enough? But Kidd wants more. To be fair, Cooper did show flashes at Duke. He averaged 4.2 assists per game and racked up 156 dimes, 41 more than his closest teammate. He's comfortable bringing the ball up. But there's a world of difference between college ball and running the point in the NBA. Point guard is the hardest position in the league for a rookie. You're not just learning plays, You're learning how to read defenses that shift in real time, handle NBA speed, and make decisions under the lights. Giannis never had this kind of rookie expectation, but Flagg is about to be tested from the opening tip. And here's where it gets even more critical: the schedule. The NBA front-loaded Dallas's calendar with home games. The Mavericks play their first 5 at home and 13 of their first 18 in Dallas. That's an advantage, but it's also pressure. A strong start is everything. History shows that a 7-3 record out of the gate makes the playoffs almost a lock. Fall below .500 and your postseason odds plummet to just 44%. The first 10 games include a mix of playoff teams and lottery squads. On paper, a winning start looks possible, but with Cooper Flagg running point from day one, that's a gamble. And until Kyrie Irving returns, Dallas has no choice. They need Cooper to keep them afloat. Remember, Kyrie Irving tore his ACL last March, and finally, we've got a major update on his comeback. To hold things down in his absence, the Mavericks went out and signed D'Angelo Russell. Now let's be real, his reputation around the league isn't great right now. Playoff struggles have followed him everywhere. But we can't forget, we're just one season removed from D'Lo averaging back-to-back years of 18 points and 6 assists while shooting over 40% from deep with the Lakers. The guy can play when it's clicking, especially in the regular season. But will it be enough until Kai is back? On a live stream, Kyrie himself gave fans a little update, and honestly, it was better news than most expected. In his own words, "I was in the gym doing a little bit more. It was some good days in the gym. I'm healing up great. As of today, the 26th, it's been 5 months since surgery." Now, if you know ACL injuries, you know the recovery timeline usually runs 9 to 12 months. That would put his earliest possible return in December. But Kyrie is 33 years old. This isn't a 23-year-old body bouncing back. So the most realistic expectation is a return sometime after the All-Star break, probably February. The question is, will Dallas still be standing tall by then? Or will the season already be slipping away? That all depends on Anthony Davis. And here's where the drama kicks in. The Mavericks, like a lot of modern NBA teams, held a bonding camp before training camp in Southern California. It sounds kind of cheesy, but it's basically a team chemistry trip. Klay Thompson hosted everybody, but one player wasn't really on the court, Anthony Davis. Now, you already know the running joke, day to Davis. There's always something. This time, he had surgery back in July for a detached retina, and as of last week, he still hasn't been cleared to play basketball. A detached retina is no small injury. It messes with vision, focus, depth perception, everything a player needs. Nobody knows how serious this setback will be, but with AD, you can almost count on something always being in the way of dominance. So yeah, Cooper Flagg is walking into a storm. Not only is he the #1 pick with massive hype, but he's also joining a team where Kyrie is hurt, Anthony Davis is questionable, and Jason Kidd wants to experiment by playing him at point guard from day one. That's a lot of weight on the shoulders of an 18-year-old rookie. Meanwhile, Luka Doncic is on an absolute revenge mission. He just did another photo shoot to show off his new body transformation, and the man looks locked in. Luka wants everyone to know he's in MVP-level shape, and he's got receipts to prove it. At Eurobasket, he was the only player to make the All-Star team without his country reaching the Final Four. That list included Giannis, Franz Wagner, and Alperen Sengun. Luka finished 7th overall, but dropped a staggering 35 points per game, the most at Eurobasket since 1989. And get this, he was even nominated for Best Defensive Player. Luka? Defense? That tells you how seriously he's taking this revenge tour. Now, we've seen Luka get skinny before, and then burgers and beers creep back into the diet. But this time feels different, because his body is only one part of the equation. The Mavericks finally gave him the one thing that historically unlocks his game: a reliable big. During their finals run, Luka thrived next to Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively in the pick and roll. He's always been at his best when he has a big to run lobs with. In fact, he's second in the entire NBA in assists on dunks since he entered the league, behind only Trae Young. Last season, Dallas had Jackson Hayes starting at center, and that severely limited Luka's game. But now, they've added DeAndre Ayton. And no, Ayton isn't prime Shaq, but don't forget what we saw a few years ago in Phoenix. Playing next to Chris Paul Ayton was a beast, helping lead the Suns to the finals and even securing a max offer sheet from Indiana. If Dallas gets even close to that version of Ayton for just $8 million a year, that's insane value. It's like the reverse Bradley Beal situation, a star contract flipped into bargain bin pricing, and it could maximize Luka in ways we haven't seen yet. But here's the catch. If Luka dominates and goes on his revenge tour, that spotlight on Cooper Flagg only gets brighter. Every turnover, every missed shot, every mistake will be magnified. And with Jason Kidd tossing him into the deep end at point guard, Kyrie rehabbing until at least February, and Anthony Davis's health still in limbo, the Mavs' margin for error is razor thin. And just when you think that's enough chaos, here comes Mark Cuban. The former Mavericks owner has been loudly defending Steve Ballmer and Kawhi Leonard amid the NBA's ongoing investigations, insisting they're innocent. But fans are asking, why is Cuban going so hard? Could it be because of whispers about under-the-table payments to Dirk Nowitzki back in the day? Or is it something even shadier? Whatever the truth is, the drama around this franchise just keeps stacking higher. For Cooper Flagg, Luka Doncic, and the Dallas Mavericks, this season isn't just about basketball. It's about survival under the harshest spotlight in the NBA.